All right. Good morning. Good afternoon. Hello. Um, I want to hop into a morning word, and I know it's closer to noon than not, but this is applicable no matter what time of day it is, no matter who you are. I just want to talk about my own new understanding of gratitude, of home, of faith, and perspective, right? So, a lot of you, especially if you know me, like in real life, you know that shadow work or knowing your demons, knowing your shadow, being accountable, whatever language you use, that's part of my jam. I'm a big fan of identifying the roots of our traumas and basically loving on them, releasing them, like just being in tune with the motivations, whether or not we are aware of them, whether or not they're conscious motivations that we have in our daily life. Um, a big one for me is feeling connected, is feeling safe and at home, right? So that's something that I've always wanted. That's something that I really feel like I want to experience in my heart is a space that is always home. And I learned this weekend. I had kind of a family social event this weekend. And in my head, I had been excited for it, and there was a particular way that I thought it might go down. Not that I had like a whole itinerary in my head, I just had like kind of what I thought the vibe of the night might be. And and when the night came, I was already not in the best headspace, right? I've been doing some genealogy work, some ancestry work, and it's a little discouraging at the moment. Um, but but anyway, that was already on my mind. There are other things happening, other feelings happening. I'm super psychic, so this time is heavy. So I came into this event already not in the best space, but still excited, right? So when the evening didn't go maybe as I was hoping for it to, I became really hurt. And I'm a super emotional person. I'm a very emotional person, and I know this. So for a couple days, I tried to just let it ride. Like, this is what I expected. And today it was still bothering me, so I finally reached out to one of the people who I'm super close with, and um, they gave me the space, A, to state what I was feeling. And I want to cry now. I've been crying all morning. but Spirit said I need to do this video now. So they gave me the space to say how I was feeling. Um, and actually, right after I texted them, I thought, did I really have to do that? Not that I said anything poorly or like I don't think like, badly. It was just kind of like how am I really feeling? Like how can I shift my perspective now? I got a reminder later in the day that gratitude, start the day with gratitude. And I'm sitting there like, fuck this. Like I feel like shit right now. I don't feel good right now. And I cried more in front of my altar as I was examining more of the feelings that I was having and examining more of what was where these feelings were coming from. And right before this video, that same person responded to me again and said, what else was going on that day? I think you've been going through some stuff. What else was going on? So I sent them a message about it. And somewhere in between these two responses, right, I was thinking about gratitude. And I don't know about you all, but when you're growing up, we're always taught be grateful. Be grateful for what you have. Don't complain somebody else could have it worse. Be grateful for what you have right now. But it was not often with an actual level of joy. The gratitude was a fear gratitude. It was that this could be gone at any moment gratitude. And that's not the conscious fault of, any of the elders in my life that were raising me when I was growing up. It's simply that they, A, were probably raised Christian, B, they experienced poverty, C, gratitude and fear and trust in God all go together. So, however that melds in our conscious collective minds is like, be grateful, it could be gone. So, in the way that we're taught to approach gratitude, be grateful so you receive more. Be grateful so you get what it is that you want. Be grateful so you're worthy of receiving what you should have. Be grateful so it's not gone, or be grateful before it's gone. Doesn't leave room to enjoy what it is that you actually have going on. It doesn't leave room to enjoy or to process or to feel any of what is happening. Of course, I'm grateful for my house. Of course, I'm grateful for my home. And of course, I'm ready for a larger one and to expand my life and my family. But, but I have to, you know, what am I trying to say? Be grateful with joy. Be grateful with joy for what is happening. Be grateful in an active way for what is happening. Use what you have and hold space in between that, because gratitude with the fear of something slipping away is not really active gratitude. One. So just bear with me for a second. We're going to segue into the little faith thing. And, you know, if it resonates with you, great. And if not, move along. So the other theme here is, of course, like I said, I'm regularly looking for home and connection. So, of course, gratitude is part of that. It helps keep you grounded in the moment and able to actually receive what's happening in the moment. So, gratitude is a part of it. The other part for me is faith. I talk about faith on and off, time to time in my videos. Whatever relationship you have with faith, with religion, with spirit, with anything is yours. But mine was for a long time belief, and well, actually not even belief, because I just knew. I've taken for granted that I've always known, and in knowing, I lost the connection. Right? There really is no separation from God, even though we're here. But my whole life, I've looked at every deity, tree, life form, whatever I've encountered as a friend, a lesson, a facet of the divine. But there was never any doubt in my mind that that expression existed, that that essence was moving in everything. And because of that, it's become a very clinical part of my life at times. And I'm remembering being told in a reading to leave that clinical part of my life behind. But there was no relationship. And so a couple days ago, I was praying to Mary, because you guys know I was like working in a convent for a long time. Catholicism is woven all through different parts of my life, and I really, really love Mary, and I really love the Rosary, even though I alter it for my own, you know. But I realized that whenever I work with Mary, and whenever I work with Marian principles, because those are, in my mind, some of the best ones, I feel at home. It's not the same way that I think the human part of me in this lifetime wants to experience some things, but I find a space for my soul to be at rest. It's the same way that I feel if I'm cooking um, something in the morning or brewing coffee, really more like brewing coffee for myself and ancestors in the morning, you know, sweep, doing dishes, like that morning setup of the house. I feel good then. That's a home feeling to me. My essence is comfortable and resting in what I'm doing. And so in that moment, she said, that's what faith is. Faith is home. Um, so find what gives your soul home. I never care what religion you practice, if you practice one, what deities you believe in or talk to, if any. But part of my concern, part of my purpose is to share whatever I'm going through and to share whatever I've learned, so whoever is also going through it or learning it has somebody to look at or has somebody to reflect from. So for me, learning that faith is home opens a lot of doors. If I use this example a lot because I had a good friend for a long time that's an engineer, and they were not ever religious people, but I think they enjoyed having a space to both be kind of creative and orderly and be making something new. I don't know the way engineers' brains work, but they just fucking do stuff. Like, they make it, they understand it. And that is one of their spaces of home. Exploring is one of their spaces of home. So that's important to find. You need to come back to center. So taking that together, I have one more point about gratitude, and then I'll get out of the morning word, I think. The other point about gratitude is that it's reception. We hear gratitude a lot in asking. And if you were raised in the church or with spiritual people of any religion, you maybe already know this concept. But for those of us who were not, because we're not all raised with these concepts exactly, is that gratitude is an act of receiving. Gratitude is an act of allowing yourself to receive. Um, and being able to be in the moment, being able to pause and be in the moment and be grateful for the moment is really a practice. It's not just something you do. You don't just say, I'm grateful. You don't look around and be like, well, I am grateful for this stuff. I have a sweater right here. I love it. I'm grateful for it. Like, yes, bitch, of course I'm grateful for it. I wear it. I use it. But that has nothing to do with this moment. Right now, in this moment, I'm enjoying the sun coming through my window, and the fact that, despite the fact that I'm in pajamas still because it's been a weird morning, I don't look too shabby. I feel pretty good about that. This is the moment that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the fact that my friend held space, and I'm grateful for the fact that I've evolved to a point where I can share the moments that I disappointed myself with my perspective, and where that perspective shift was what allowed me to receive new understanding. Okay, again, I'm sharing a little more here and there about um, taking care of the dead. About I got some candles I've been working on to show you guys. Making incense. It's great to craft items. It's great to work magic. But the real alchemy, the real transmutation, is within you, and it's within your perspective and the way where you place yourself in the world. I quit my job because for 8 years I have worked jobs that have put me on the bottom of the ladder. And even though they were mostly service jobs, and even though they were at times jobs I really loved, and jobs that were good work and that have afforded me so much experience, they were jobs that put me at the bottom of the ladder. And that was a feeling that I was already experiencing. You cannot give from an empty cup. You have to receive. You have to receive. And within that, there has to be flow and openness. So I implore you all going into um, this full moon, which is a badass full moon for any kind of conjuring and good stuff like that, and going into this last quarter of the year, to please take a moment and see where you are. Take a breath in and out. That is divine air. That is the same air that is like within everything. So take a breath, let it connect you to spirit. Take a moment to be grateful for where you are, even if it feels horrible and difficult. And you're like, even if it was me an hour ago, like, bitch, I'm crying. Why do you want me to be grateful right now? Like, for what? For the salt on my face? Like, yes, I want you to be grateful for the salt on your face. That's the salt of the motherfucking earth, and you can go ahead and use it to build something. I want you to be grateful for it. I want you to reach out to wherever your perspective was hurt. Ideally within yourself. If this means reaching out to another person, do so, with kind words and trying to be aware and accountable and opening. And if you're reaching out to somebody and they have something to say back, allow the conversation to flow so long as it's healthy and not being like bad. You know what I mean? Um, it's Wednesday. Today is a phenomenal day for all you mercurial spirits, all you air spirits. Really put your dreams to use. Speak aloud what it is you want. Again, use that divine breath. Bring it in, let it flow out, create that equilibrium within yourself and your energy field. Create what you want to create in your life, right? I chose a timeline of just transmutation, guidance. My goal is to just continue spiritually, consciously, lovingly leveling up in this lifetime. So I'm going to keep stepping into that. Step into the timeline that you want. Step into the timeline that you're trying to see happen. Okay? Um, that's it for today. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Wednesday and rest of your week. And, I might be back later. We'll see what happens. What happens? We'll see what's up. We'll see what happens. Okay, bye.